Arsenal fans, definitely we're going to be talking about last night's narrow 1-0 win over Ipswich Town, and that may definitely have secured the 3 points, but also exposed some glaring weaknesses in the squad of the football club Arsenal. The player ratings tell a very big story of the team that dominated ball possession, created very many chances, but these chances were not converted into goals. So the clinical age to the game was not really put to expectation. The clinical finishing wasn't the best, and that's why we really are going to be talking about this. And today, I must say, we are going to dive straight into those ratings, analyze individual performances, and also reveal why Arsenal urgently need to sign a top striker to sustain their title challenge. And also, ladies and gentlemen, stick around because this is going to be a conversation every Arsenal fan needs to hear. So, first of all, let's analyze the player ratings for the Arsenal game against Ipswich. Let's break down the football player ratings from Ipswich game, and starting with the goalkeeper and also the defenses. We know that David Raya earned a 4.3 rating, and while Ipswich did not threaten much, he was quite reliable when called upon, and keeping another clean sheet was quite crucial. The backline of Urian Timber, William Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, and also the young Lewis Kelly was solid with actually quite good and standing out at 4.4. So I really I must say his composure really, and also the ability to build from the back was very, very critical, and that was quite good. Then in the midfield, we saw Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard, who were definitely quite impressive, and both of them scoring a 4.0, a 4.0 rating, So I must say, Declan Rice's ability to control the game and also Martin Odegaard's creativity kept Arsenal in charge. But once again, the midfield's inability to find a consistent goal scorer ahead of them definitely stood out. So up front, we had to see Gabriel Jesus, who had another underwhelming performance with a 4.1 rating, which was definitely not quite good for a striker. And he definitely, actually, despite his movement and also pressing, he failed to capitalize on key moments. And on the other hand, I must say Kai Havertz was Arsenal's hero with a 4.5 rating, scoring the game's only goal. But let's get this clear. As I told you before, we know that Kai Havertz is not a striker. While he stepped up on the night, relying on him would consistently really bring problems. Relying on him to deliver in that role really is not sustainable. And I don't know how many times I should mention that, but it is not sustainable. So there is the striker problem that has to be addressed. The biggest takeaway from these ratings is Arsenal's glaring problems up front. Gabriel Jesus, as much as you definitely love his work rates and link-up play, is not a clinical finisher. Against teams like Ipswich, where Arsenal really dominated ball possession and created very many chances, you need a striker who can definitely convert those opportunities into goals. And I can confirm to you that Gabriel Jesus is not that striker. And in this game, really, Arsenal had 14 shots, but only four of them were I don't know how I can call it, but out of the 14 shots, 4 of them were on target. So teams like Liverpool and Manchester City, Chelsea, their strikers have definitely thrived in big and also really shown that Arsenal lacks a proper striker like these teams, because they do not joke when it comes to the final third. Arsenal is quite dangerous in the final third, but lacks a clinical finisher, lacks that traditional number 9. And really, I think this is something that has to be quite addressed, So this inefficiency isn't just a problem, It's not just a problem against smaller teams. In higher stakes games against top opposition, failing to take your chances can definitely be quite the difference between winning and losing, and that is what needs to be addressed. So comparing Arsenal to rivals, to title rivals, we know that mainly, I think, mainly we're going to compare it with Liverpool. Arsenal's attack with their title rivals, let's compare it with Liverpool. You know that Liverpool, for instance, definitely have Darwin Nunez and Mohamed Salah leading their line, and both of these football players are clinical finishers, and also consistently ensuring Liverpool maintains the spot at the top level by scoring goals every now and then. So I must say there is also I know Manchester City is in the 7th position or what, but they have a good squad when all together. Manchester City have Erling Haaland, a goal scoring machine, and that is what you definitely need for a football club like Arsenal. So Haaland does not just score; he converts chances into chances at an elite rate. He converts them into goals. He's the difference. Is the difference maker in tight games, turning draws into wins. That's what Arsenal definitely needs. So Arsenal, meanwhile, are relying on wingers like Martinelli and Bukayo Saka to make sure that they can shoulder the goal-scoring burden. While they definitely they have done quite well, it's definitely not their primarily role. The lack of a central striker to complement their creativity is Arsenal's big, massive problem. Anyway, let's talk about the potential January transfer signings. And how can Arsenal address this issue, really? The January transfer window is fast approaching. It's definitely already here. And there are several exciting options on the transfer market. And let's talk about these options. And first up, we're going to be talking about Benjamin Sesko, the young Slovenian forward who already is making waves in Europe. And that's just 6'4". He is the physical presence with the technical ability to make sure that he finishes seamlessly into Arsenal's. He would fit seamlessly into Arsenal's attacking system. He would definitely get into the Premier League and make that big difference for the football club Arsenal. And another option that is available is Jonathan David, and it is reported that Arsenal has been looking at him. So a versatile forward who has been linked up to Arsenal and has been lighting it up for League One is Jonathan David. So David's pace and also his finishing make him a perfect fit for the Premier League, and he could thrive with the likes of Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka supplying him. So let's talk about Randall Kolo Muani, who is another name to consider in the mix, and he brings a mix of physicality, pace, and also the finishing ability that Arsenal lacks, and qualities that Arsenal's really are currently lacking are all packaged in this young gentleman. So I must say, there is Dusan Vlahovic, also a football player who's been linked to Arsenal for multiple windows, and Dusan Vlahovic is a proven goal scorer, at the highest level, and his ability to dominate in the box would be quite massive, and it would be a massive upgrade for the football club Arsenal. And the cost of inaction really is something we need to look into. What exactly will happen if Arsenal do not act in the January transfer window? So the consequences could be quite severe. We know that the Premier League is very, very unforgiving, and as the season really progresses, the margins become even thinner, and dropping points in games like this could definitely cost Arsenal the title. Arsenal is still in the title. I know Liverpool has a big difference between points, but I mean, it's mid-season. It's mid-season. More games are going to be played, and we can guarantee you, I can guarantee you that Liverpool is going to drop points. But Arsenal doesn't have to drop points, or it doesn't have to draw or it lose. It has to keep winning and pray that Liverpool drops points. So with the Champions League knockout stages really on the horizon, we know that actually Arsenal will need a clinical finisher to compete against Europe's allies, and a lack of firepower in the games could lead to an early exit, which would be quite a massive disappointment for a team with so much potential. That's why really a clinical finisher has to be gone. Anyway, Arsenal's player ratings from Ipswich game have definitely highlighted a critical weakness in the squad of the football club Arsenal. While the defense and the midfield are performing at highest level, and the lack of a clinical finisher is holding the team back. And I will repeat for you, the lack of a clinical finisher holds the team back. So the January transfer window presents that massive opportunity to fix the issue. Whether it is Benjamin Sesko, Jonathan David, Randall Kolo Muani, or Dusan Vlahovic, Arsenal need to act quick and decisively. So what do you think? Who should Arsenal sign in this January transfer window? Should the problem be solved by Randall Kolo Muani? Should it be Jonathan David? Should it be Dusan Vlahovic? Who should that football player be? Arsenal is definitely going to be investing in the general transfer window, and we're still wondering who. Let me know in the comment section whom you think should be that striker to be signed by the football club Arsenal. And if you enjoyed this video analysis, do not forget to give this video a like and also share more so that I can always share more in-depth content with you. And if you like, please subscribe, ring that notification bell so that you do not miss out on anything that I've got to bring to you right about here. Otherwise, thank you and goodbye for now.